Okay, so we are recording. What we usually do is have the candidates start off and introduce themselves and say a little bit about their platform. And it's just going to be you today. So once we do that, we'll go ahead and move into the questions. So if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself and a little bit about yourself and your platform.
Okay. My name is Thomas Jason Riddle. Or I guess I'll be saying I'm running for House of Representatives, District 33. Let's see. I'm running as a constitutionist. I feel running as a constitutionist would allow me more, not be tied down by certain political groups per se. I'm all about trying to help the younger generation for schools, their education. My daughter is in 5th grade right now, but she has special needs, so she's in a self-contained class. And dealing with her teachers and noticing how, I don't want to say underfunded they are, but overall the schools I feel is a little underfunded for certain areas, like one-to-one devices, the outdated softwares, the books and stuff like that are kind of outdated, which my sister-in-law is a teacher. And so she gave me some insight on stuff that they're kind of dealing with, where they have to deal with resource deficiencies, so they can't really get back to teaching as much as they have to deal with all the other day-to-day stuff for us, schools. And just as far as everybody's rights and the roads, that's about all I'm trying to do at this moment. I guess that's kind of it. I'm kind of all new at this.
Okay. Well, welcome to it. So we've got 4 questions that we asked. I'll go ahead and start with the first one. What is your opinion of the state of public education in South Carolina today?
My opinion on it is,
yes,
to me, it seems to be more them. They got their hands tied with all the, I guess you would say, all the regulations and stuff like that, to where they can't actually teach like they should be teaching. They try to do this, but then they want them to change their platform that it doesn't help the kids in their class to go off this certain platform. The teacher should be allowed to adapt it more, I guess you could say. It's kind of like it could be better, in my opinion, just dealing with the teachers and all that, with my daughter and my sister-in-law saying that she deals with. I feel like they got their hands tied where they can't do as much as they should be doing.
Okay. If elected, what would be the first step you would take to improve public education?
The first step I would be to try to figure out the budgeting and how we can move certain budgeting or get a grants and stuff like that to actually be able to put one-to-one devices and be able to update the softwares, so that way the teachers can actually not be hindered by the software or the computer system that they offer right now.
Okay. If elected, what would you do to address the funding of public education?
address the funding, I know there's reserves out there for budgeting that they try to push off to another area. Say, I'm not saying like the football program, but sports programs in general are way more funded than the rest of the school is, in my opinion. I would try to sit down with the everyone in the school district that has the power to move budgeting over a little bit and see if we can reach out for more grants and stuff like that, just so that way there is a surplus of money to be able to not take away from any other activities.
Okay. And did you want to continue with that?
No, that's okay.
Okay.
That's the first time I was ever asked that question.
In your opinion, what would a successful accountability system for education in South Carolina look like? So what we're asking is, what do you think is a successful way to hold schools accountable?
I guess by not pushing so much on these programs to where if the school only allows, say the school says they need so many, say special needs children in order to get this amount of funding, they should be able to get that funding no matter how many kids they have in that class or in that certain criteria for as what I'm looking for, self-contained classes or anything that helps, like resource or something like that. It shouldn't be based on how many kids they have in there to whether or not they need to push more kids, not to allow them to get out of that area. For instance, like my daughter, we went to have her IEP. We was trying to have them do a IQ test again to see where she fell or falls. And they were saying that they did not want to do the IQ test because of it wouldn't change their out if they went and she was actually better than what they say and she was now, then they would lose funding for that program. That's kind of where I'm falling at, is it shouldn't be based on the type of children. It should be just based on children altogether.
Okay, well, those are our 4 questions. Is there anything that you'd like to add that we didn't touch on, or anything else you feel that the SC for Ed community should know about you?
No, nothing other than I just want to try to help all the special needs, more or less, the special needs kids to get their help that they need. Because it's kind of hard for them to do certain things without being tied to a specific criteria that they have to meet. And I feel that if the teachers got to be able to get back to teaching instead of worrying about this criteria, I feel that the teachers would be better off and the students would be better off for as being able to be taught better, taught in the way they should have been taught to begin with.
Well, great. Thank you. And thank you so much for taking the time to answer these questions. I'm going to go ahead and hit stop recording.